Internet, Yuki here. It's time for another episode of the Necken devlog, and I've got a couple of new things to show you. The first thing is animations. The movement is slightly better than just shifting the player directly, so it has a smoother movement, and I think it looks kind of good. I did look into a couple of different methods on doing this, like locking the character until the movement is done, but that was shit, so I skipped that. So instead, if you press two buttons quickly, the player will instantly finish his last move and then continue on the new one. So you can pretty much do it like this. It's not 100%, but it works a lot better than like having to wait for this action to be able to start this action. And I also tried queuing the actions together, and that basically felt like the game was lagging, so that was pretty horrible. I also added animations for animations for the enemies, and also during combat. So let's see what it looks like. So over here we have enemies that moves just like the player, and they also move like the displays when the combat starts. They both move to the side so that there's some gap between them, and also some combat, just super simple combat animations. So nothing special really. I will have different animations for the three different attack types in time, but right now this is just to get started. And there's also an animation for actually attacking the spawn tile. So well, there's also game over apparently. Yeah, animations. I also added lose conditions to the game. So currently you can lose in two different ways. The first, most obvious way is to just die, and the way that works in the game is you have three resources, or three damage sources of sorts, and that's also your health in a way. So you have your health, your weapon, and your shield, and when all those three are depleted, that means that you're dead. And what this means is also that you can have, let me just go away. What this means is that you can have 0 body health, like dead, but you can still fight and stuff like that. So you can't use your body as a weapon anymore. So when all your three resources, or all your three sources are 0, you are dead. So right now my shield is 0, and the bottom left, the green circle thing with a shield, and I have 10 sword health, and I have 9 body health. So that's the way you die. Let me just. So this means that now that I have 0 shield health, I also have 0 shield damage. So I can't use. I'm trying to press A here. I can't use my shield to damage the boar. So let me just use my body. So that's the first and most obvious way. So I can just repair myself. Like I can eat berries to restore my body health. I can use this table to repair my shield, and I can use this tile to repair my sword. The second way to lose is to lose your objective, and it's I was trying to show that, but it didn't really turn out that well. But this building here has 4 health, and that's your objective. You're supposed to get out of here. You're supposed to protect it. So the boar the boars, they do attack the tiles, and I'll talk more about that later. Like on the left right now, you can see that they're destroying the tile, and now perfect timing. So he will also destroy the objective when he finds it. So now we died. And if we restart the game, we can also let me just cheat a little bit. So we can also repair it to restore health to the objective building so that we don't lose. But it's really expensive, and it's 10 resources you could have spent on other stuff. So repairing a normal tile requires 5, and that heals it completely, or rather, normal tiles don't really have health. They're either repaired or they're broken. But this building has like 5 health, just like the spawn tiles. So that's how that works. So the enemies can also break tiles, like you noticed earlier. So they can break all the player tiles. Basically, that means the table for repairing the shield, the anvil for repairing the sword, and the objective building. And that's about it. So once they find them, they stay and attack the building until it's broken. I also added the mushroom thing. I'm not sure if it has a really low spawn rate right now, but here you can see that the boar, or enemies overall, they eat mushroom to get bigger, so they get upgraded, and they only do so. Why am I playing with the mouse cursor? So they only do that once, first of all, and they only do that when the mushroom is in a finished state. So all the empty tiles have a chance to spawn mushrooms, and right next to me you can see the different states. So they grow slowly, and all enemy types can eat mushrooms to get stronger or just level up. And for now I think it's like +2 HP or something. And the player can destroy the mushrooms. So right now there's not really much in terms of animation for that, but you can always destroy the mushrooms independent of their state. And it's kind of like my way to increase difficulty over time. So let's say that I'm playing on the right side for a long time. I keep this area clean of mushroom and make sure that they get out of there, and I make sure that the mushrooms are destroyed. By the time I get to this area, the enemies that have spawned there will probably already be pretty upgraded, and there will probably be mushrooms on the empty tiles as well. So that's a harder area right now. So, and that makes the game kind of dynamic, I think, so that it's not really like this is a harder area by default, but if you ignore one area, that area gets stronger over time. And instead of just making enemies stronger automatically over time, I think this feels a bit better, and you have some ways of negating the upgrade effects as well, and stuff like that. So I think this works pretty well. The last big thing I added to the game has to do with greed. If a player is constantly gathering resources like this, let's ignore the ridiculous amount of resources available on the stone tiles, but let's say that you're just running around gathering resources forever and ever. Let me just restart. That is kind of greedy, and normally games solve this by giving you a maximum capacity, like you can only carry 20 wood or 20 rocks or pretty much whatever you have inventory space, and items stack to a maximum level. But instead I wanted to explore the whole greed thing, and came up with a greed system that I think works kind of good. So let's say that you're gathering a shit ton of resources. What happens in the game is that you increase the chance of getting punished or whatever, but let's say I'm pressing a debug button here. So let's say that I have collected 46 of each resource. That means that I'm currently very greedy. So the greed cap is, or the greed like threshold is currently at 10 resources. So yeah, if you have above 10 resources, that means that for each time you gather a resource, like so, you have your inventory or like your count minus 10% chance of spawning a bird. And spawning a bird just happened right here. So here's a bird, and that also applies to the stone tiles, and each time, well, it creates a couple of birds since there's a lot of, why is it not spawning? All right, whatever. So there's a couple of birds, and that means that I created hidden enemies behind these resources. So if I collect resource from a tile that carries a bird, that spawns a specific enemy for that resource type. So now I spawned I don't know what to call it, dryad of sorts, and also some kind of stone troll that walks back and forth between the tile that they're protecting and the adjacent tiles as well. So the troll that I just killed can go to this tile and to the adjacent tiles, since it's kind of defending that tile. And this means that the more resources you're collecting, the bigger the risk of getting attacked by enemies. And I mean, if I'm just standing in this small area here collecting resources for a long time, that means that all the other resources in the game probably have some kind of a well, bird, and that makes the area, like the next area, more dangerous dynamically ish, or whatever you want to call it. So you kind of create your own difficulty by being greedy, and you get not punished, that's the wrong word, but you get to there's a risk to being greedy. And if you spend your resources, like let's say that I have 50 wood like I have right now, and then I spend it on repairing, I can't do that now because it's full. That means that the chance still stays. So right now it would be, since I have 51 resources, that would be 41% chance. That percent would still stay, and each time it spawns, it just diminishes over time, so it lowers by 5% each time. So it will slowly reach your current resource level as well. So you can't be greedy and lucky and get away with it. So that's kind of how that works. Well, this video got quite long, but I had a lot of things that I wanted to show you. And if you want to know more about the Necken project, please like and subscribe to, well, keep updated. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and hopefully I will see you next time.